Hi, and welcome to the third episode of Rick's Music Collection. My name is Rick Olivares, and introduce myself again. I'm a freelance journalist. I also had my career in advertising and marketing. More or less, I was able to uh, circumnavigate the industry of communications. Yeah, and I also make a living as a teacher, where I teach writing and communications. About. Got my first ever records when I was in fifth grade. I bought my first ever records when I was in sixth grade. And, you know, to this day, say from my background, that's my vinyl record collection. And, that's about 2,100 records, 600 records through the years, through moving houses, uh, Ondoy, and then a fire that hit my parents' home. And some that were borrowed but never returned. So I don't lend my collections anymore. No, I don't. Sorry na lang talaga. Anyway, this is episode 3. In episode 1, I showed you the few things that I have from the Twisted Red Cross years in the 1980s. That's punk rock, Filipino punk, and punk rock is one of my favorite genres in rock and roll. Episode 2 was part 1 of my OPM Pinoy rock collection, and that was a long one. It went over an hour. And the reason why it's part 1, it could go up all the way to part 4. 800 CDs all in all. So, but we'll do this one, and then we'll jump over to vinyl for episode 4. We're not going to finish all my CDs. I'll revisit that at some point. Anyways, for part 2 of my Pinoy Rock CD collection, let's kick this off with Abracadabra, the 70s band. Okay, they were the kiss of it's nothing like Kiss. It was just because they put on makeup similar to Kiss. But theirs was rock fused with a little bit of soul and R&B and all that, funk even. Uh, the late prog rock band Anhura, their one and only album. Then they broke up. Uh, it's a good one. I wrote about them for ABS-CBN, Apple Orchard, Half Steps Towards Bright Skies. Beautiful indie pop, straddling on dream pop. Assembly Generals comes in a nifty package. This is hip hop with a little bit of a rock snarl in it, but more of hip hop. The second album of Assembly Generals, titled Fatigue. Don't you love their packaging? Banda ni Cleggy, only in the Philippines. One of the most fun bands around. Betrayed, Why Must Everything Involve Politics? This was released several years ago. I have two. If you notice, this is sealed. This one, the other one I play. Mm-hmm. Cherry Cornflakes, Evidencel, his first solo album, Bawat Daan. This was released on vinyl through Backspacer Records last year. His second, Dalawang Mukha ng Pag-ibig, another very good album. The Police, 90s band from Ateneo, another funny band led by Gabe Mercado and my good friend Bob Guerrero. The Police, Parak and Roll. Yeah. You gotta love a band with a sense of humor, right? The Dawn, Ultimate OPM Collection. Box Animated, prog rock band here in the Philippines, and they're just really, really good. And this is their first one actually. Animated was it sounds different actually from their from animated, you know. But it's just good stuff, really good stuff. Giniling Festival and Tunog Pinoy, Wally Gonzalez, 40th anniversary, and I was never able to get the record of that one, never. Identity Crisis, this is, if you know, no, this is not a tale of two. This is actually a retake of the cover. It's different, slightly the same, but it's different. And this is actually a compilation of their two albums. And they put this together during the reunion concert about 6-7 years ago, something like that. I was able to get 2 copies of this one. Soundproof Wall from Identikit. They're a very impressive post-rock band, post-rock straddling on indie pop and indie rock with a little bit of shoegaze in them, you know. Very, very good band, you know. Itchy Worms, this is their debut. Little Monsters Under the Bed. Earlier, the CDs are near mint condition, if not mint. When you say mint, let's just be very clear. It's sealed, it's not open, it's not played. Near mint, it's just, it's open, but albums on Doy. And it took me a while to find replacements, but they're, you know, not in the best of shape, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay. The Great Noontime Show, their breakout album of Itchy Worms. Self-titled, their third album. And after all this time, their fourth. They have a fifth one waiting for the end to start, and that came out digitally and on vinyl, which we will vinyl collection. This is, if I'm not mistaken, their first CD single, Happy Birthday. Came out sometime after their first album. I could be wrong there, but definitely either before or after their first album. Don't ask me to pronounce the title of the song because it's sung in Mandarin. Okay. Okay. Overtone. I mentioned that it feature pie. The CD singles were given to radio stations to play, and as I've said, I had a lot of them, especially from the eraser heads, but I made a huge mistake of tossing them out when we moved houses. You know, huge mistake. I just put it in a bag and I didn't realize I threw the bag. You know. Ransom Collective, Traces, there. This is punk band Republicats, Disconnected, their debut album, a really good one. If you like bands like Rancid, you're gonna love Republicats. Ret Rocks, their EP, from Top Drunk. That features Tuesday Vargas, formerly of Putreska. Salamin. Okay. Sampaguita, 18 Greatest Hits, and another Greatest Hits collection of Sampaguita. Saranggola ni Pepe with that suggestive cover, This Is It. Signed copy of the last album of Slapshot, Atake. Melody Del Mundo, first band in the United States, Dallas Notch, signed, 2 copies of it. Okay. Uh, Swissy from Terno Recordings. Stick Figures, Realistic. This is their last album, and it's a very, very good one featuring Kat Agarado of Sinasikat. She adds another dimension to this awesome band, and they're not just a hip hop band, but some of the members bring a metal or even a punk edge to them, because it's a pretty much an all-star band, you know. Uh, this is a really good band, Tiger Pussy, their one and only album. This was during their launch at Moe's. That band, of course, is from Cebu. And I think they ended when one of their members went abroad, you know. Bootleg copy of the Urban Bandits Independent. And this out is a freaking idiot. Look at that. They didn't even bother to proofread it. Bandats. What kind of idiot does that, right? But I got it. Valley of Chrome, their most recent album, Victorious. Outstanding metal band. And this one is their best yet. Woods at Nakalimutan ng Diyos. One of those punk band pioneers, and they're just really, really very good. Bobby Balingit is a genius, you know. The reissues of The Youth, album na walang pamagat. Yeah, and The Youth, another one, remastered. This is a compilation album, another Jackass project. This is a tribute to Sampaguita, a compilation that came out in the 1990s, Batuhan. These are the bands here. This is where I first heard of Baguio. Of course, it's got Philippine Violators, Bonehead, Dahong Palay, Nash, and Mutiny. And Bonehead, a solid one. This is the controversial TRC 18 release, The Fourth Order. You know, but it's official. Or of Doom compilation. Let's take a look at the bands over here. Chrome, Queso. And this one, soundtrack of Runin, featuring Bamboo Sandwich, Kitchinadal, Shamrock, and some others. Okay. Now, this one is the re-release of Orange and Lemon's Love in the Land of Rubber Shoes and Dirty Ice Cream. This was recorded as a 3-piece unit by Clem and the brothers Ace and JM Del Mundo minus McCoy Fundales. It was re-recorded several years ago. And I'm actually pleased to announce that we're putting this out on vinyl. Okay. So happy to have that CD as well. This is a split EP between shoegaze bands Ozga and Polar Lows. Really good stuff if you love that genre. And I'm also pleased to announce that I'm working to put Polar Lows on vinyl. The Geeks, really relatable content, an underrated and really off the radar indie rock band. Gang, a Stinky Tinkies, and that goes hand in hand with the cassette. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. This is the third album from Dystocia Curve. I showed them in episode 2. This is their latest, Gardinero. And, you know, it's even more intense because it was recorded before the pandemic. And we had a different set of issues altogether. Baguio. We showed them from Batuhan, and they came after Batuhan, that compilation, they came out with their debut album. Now this kid is Filipino-American kid. Yeah, this is his debut album, Assault. If you like, that's Seb right there. Yes, he's a kid. He's only like, what, 14, 15 years old. If you like Steve Vai, Ingrid Malmsteen, you're gonna love this kid stuff. Just really awesome, you know. I said earlier that I have a signed copy of Franco's debut album, and here it is. I also have the non-signed version. Now, I also said I'd show my other set of Up Dharma Down CDs. You saw that first batch from in the second episode, and these are my extra copies of Fragmented. Yes, I did get two copies, and I put the CD on a thin jewel case to minimize the scratches when you pull it out of that thin cardboard case that it has. Second copy of Bipolar, second copy of Capacities, and this is their compilation album that was put out in Japan, Sun Shower. Was able to get that one as well, and it's a prized copy. A huge fan of the band, and I do have the vinyl of Capacities as well as UDD, and unbelievable the way the vinyl for Capacities is selling. I saw it sell for about 30,000 pesos. Can you believe that? That's insane. Pulp Freak Show. These are live performances. You can see the bands there. Okay, cracked jewel case. I got that secondhand. Um, I showed General Luna. This is their second album. The first album, I showed that in the second episode. Kapatid, their independently released debut album, hoping to put this out on vinyl next year. Their second album, Luha, that was on a label later on, EMI. Okay, and here are some other stuff that aren't in June. I mentioned it in the previous episode. Ringmaster from Sleepwalk Circus. This is his actual second solo album, Villetin. I bought two of this stuff. It's just a really, really astounding album. It's tremendously talented. Shudad. This is an independently released collection, like a greatest hits thing, Shudad Forever. And a version of this came out on vinyl titled simply Shudad. Um, Mike's Apartment, Lover's Quarrel. This is like New Soul. And no, this is not vinyl. This is actually a CD, like, uh, a case for 7-inch shreds, So very attractive. Not just the lady on the cover. And speaking of like in vinyl format, here is Bamboo, Snow, Water, No Moon. A total departure from his rock and roll. This one's more pop, more, how do you say this? Cerebral. Yeah, it's a different one. And I mean, you don't title something No Water, No Moon and come out with rock and roll. This is more a quiet album, very introspective, and a different take on Bamboo. I got two of them actually. Okay. Tres Marias. There's a version that's smaller and it's in like one of those cardboard cases, but I prefer this one. I got this during a show at 70s Bistro. Ska band Sentido, Unang Hakbang. I have two of these babies right here. Speaking of Bamboo, Platinum Collection, the complete hits. This, I think, preceded the vinyl releases. There are 2 volumes of the vinyl releases of that one. Hail, Kundiman. The Bloomfields, Hit the Ground Running. True Faith, The Love Parade. Another of their greatest hits. I think they put out several of it. And course, being the completest, I got it. Noel Cabangon, Viaje Collection, Slapshock. There's also a version of this in a jewel case. I don't have that one. I wanted to get a big one. 15 Calibre from Slapshot. Now it appears to be like it's in a DVD case, but it's not. It's a CD. Yeah, that's how it is inside, you know. I have 2 copies of that one as well. Now this is a really good band, Mr. Bones and the Boneyard Circus. This is their debut horror scene. And I think I featured them also. I mentioned them in episode 1 towards the end of that episode. And if you like bands like the Misfits, you know, even CC and the Banshees, bands with a little bit of horror, Rob Zombie and all that, you're gonna love Mr. Bones and the Boneyard Circus. This one I did not show in the previous episode because it's just in a different case. Parokya ni Edgar Musikahan. So now the last batch of CDs for episode 3 are those that come in these cardboard cases, not jewel boxes. This band I manage. They're an indie rock band, but they make use of ukuleles, but they're very, very tuneful. This is Sremborak. I saw them at the Pepe Smith Rock Fest at the Amoranto Stadium, and I was just so awestruck by their music. I offered to manage them right away, and we came out with this EP titled Basura Songs. It came out on my indie label, Icon Records, okay? And I have a second release under Icon Records. We'll show it later. It's kind of not active at the moment because there's just so much that I do. Sealed copy. We sold about 500 of these babies, you know, and in the first few months. And then I stopped the production first because I got really busy. You know, Some Gorgeous Accident, indie pop, dream pop. It's in a mini disc. Okay, I can't play it, but I want to have it. Barbie Almalbis, Le Tigre, Le Tigre, Tigre. What am I talking about? Tigre. And this was her EP. It's a self-released EP. And I have that one. Le Tigre. Where's that coming from, huh? Big Bang Alley, soundtrack, Ellie Buendia, Jazz Nicolas, and Mikey Amistosa. Dream Carousel. Basement Lung. Enveloped Ideas, Tribute to the Dawn. Shadow Moses. Sugar Hiccup, their 4th and final album, Closure. And I also have a signed copy, 2 signed copies actually. And I also have the vinyl of that one, signed by the band. Japsuki. Stereo Mood Swings. Claudia, their excellent debut. Sky Spectre, they're a Filipino band that was based in Singapore. To be the vocalist of Sugar Hiccup, replacing Melody Del Mundo in the lineup of Tongues and Thoughts. And then she left the band, put up Claudia. This is their second release, Day Blind Stars. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. They mix goth with shoegaze and dream pop, you know, just amazing stuff. GYHT, maybe in another universe I'd serve you. Post-rock stuff, really good. Popular Days. The Mad Lilacs, I heard that they're no longer around. Too bad because they're really good. Post-rock outfit, Through the Waves, really good. This is their debut, Shoreline, and I think these guys are from Pangasinan. I've got to see them on a couple of occasions. Really good band. Sharbound and Busking. I showed you the Ringmasters latest album. This was his debut when he left Sleepwalk Circus. Now, it comes with this cardboard of the size of an LP and contains different artwork. So I think there are like 3 or 4 different variants in terms of the artwork, and I did get one. Yeah, but this is the CD itself. Jeepney Joyride, Ska. This is the second release from Icon Records, my indie label, Scott. This is shoegaze in a way. The awesome debut album from Vic Facultad and Weather the Roots, Lakbay. Vic Facultad, if you know, is the vocalist of Indio Eye. And this one's a more soulful take, and he imbues it with reggae vibes and all that. The great Jonoy Danao. I got his 2 albums, Salubungan and the self-titled release. Veronica and I. Got it signed by that. Veronica and Mike. Stephen Huge. Got a little bit of R&B. 2-person outfit. Shirt project. Today is shirt day from Turner Records. Electronica with a little bit of hip hop. Knights of Rizal. Kinaya. That's a Filipino classic music style feel, a bit ethnic and world music if you want to label it, Blind Stereo Moon. The Sleepyheads, I showed you their other album in Sky Marines. This is Sky Marines Flight. They're also under Turno. I showed them in the the second episode, part 1 of my OPM collection. 6 to North Star, 6 Instrumentals. The Roxy Morons. Frank Sinatra, My Way. I showed the other albums of Frank Sinatra in episode 2 or part 1 of my OPM collection. Lazaro, if you're a fan of Dave Matthews. Izaldi, the frontman, signed it for me. From the talented Diego Mapa, Egg Boy. This band I really love. Brass Pass 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 Pass. Greatest Hits debut album, but they're calling it Greatest Hits. As I understand, it'll be out on vinyl this year from Backspacer Records. Keiko. This one's from Pulp. Talahib. This is just a very, very good debut. World music. This is a metal band, Lost Prophets. Lost Threads, rather. Lost Threads. Timawa, post-rock. This is Stephen Liu's latest band, the Racoustic Blues Experiment. This is their debut EP, In Flight. As you can see, is backed there by Bex and Bong of Tropical Depression. This one is A Strange Creatures, Phantasms, and this came out on vinyl with a different cover. Okay, just got a few more over here. Okay, the Bernadettes. An EP, a single actually, from the Bernadettes, Let's Make Babies. And then another single from Turbogoth, Morning Swim. Okay, so I got a few others here, but I guess I'll be showing that when I do part 3 of my OPM CD collection. So that's it for now. So I I like to get CDs or records or tapes from Filipino bands. I want to support them, you know, because making a living out of being a musician in this country is already hard enough unless you're one of those superstars from the 70s, 80s, or 90s who made a name for themselves, or even in the new millennium. But that for every successful act, there are probably 15 or 20 that aren't successful. So I try to get a lot of what they put out. By no means do I have a complete collection of everything that goes out there. It's impossible to get everything. It's impossible, but I try to get what I can. And do I listen to everything? Yes, I do. Um, if I can afford to get two copies, I will. Sometimes I get three. But if it's expensive, I just get one. One to play and one to just file. So I have that copy. You know. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying my collection. And I know in after episode 2, which was part 1 of my Pinoy rock CD collection, I said we'll go vinyl. No, but definitely for the next one, we're gonna go vinyl. Um, I'm not sure though if we'll tackle my OPM collection on vinyl or we'll go somewhere else. But definitely we're gonna go vinyl for episode 4. So this is Rick Olivares. Thank you for watching. And if you have any comments, any things that you want to discuss about music and all that, leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.